This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life, brighten up your life.
Testing. Count to 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. Hello, everybody. It's Paul Neeson with Torah Life. Hello, everybody. It's Paul Neeson with the Raw Life Health Show. Thank you for joining us today. We have a special return guest, and her name is Suzen Chan. Suzen, say hello to the audience.
Hello, everyone. Happy New Year.
Everybody, I had Suzen on previously talking about a very important topic, and Suzen has a lot of experience with helping people heal from Lyme disease. Suzen, share your experience with Lyme disease.
Well, it was quite a journey. This June, it will mark 10 years since the initial bite that I had. And I did have a tick bite. Went into the medical community with that tick bite and was pretty much dismissed. It was too late by the time anybody realized what was going on. It was a 5-year journey of on and off antibiotics, and it really just destroyed everything that I had been working with in my life.
Sure. And what were the symptoms of the result of the tick bite?
Everyone's symptoms are different. Mine were extreme. I got the bite one week, and within a week and a half, I had a meningitis fever that nearly killed me. And it was 3 days with that initial fever, in and out of consciousness, extreme pain, and from there, I just never got well. Just was never able to recover, and it was pretty much 4 years bedridden, extreme pain.
Wow, yeah, and people don't realize how serious this is because often I see people that are really, really sick pretty bad, and then I tell them to check to see if it's Lyme disease, and they find out it is, and they realize, now they could start some kind of process of getting better, and that's what you do. You help people that have been diagnosed get better. Now, what about, before we talk about what they can do if they have it, what about prevention of it? Is there something people you recommend people do?
Absolutely. When you go into the woods, you must tuck in your pants and just make sure that every avenue that a tick can get on your body is sealed off as much as possible. I tie my hair up, I wear a hat, everything is tucked in. I have gloves and boots, and always very cautious. I don't like to use the chemical bug repellents and tick repellents and so on, so I'll use essential oils when I go out, and immediately upon returning, I just take off my clothes right there at the door and shower right away. You don't ever want to track through the house. After you've been outside, you can drop the little nymphs in your home, and then later it can bite a pet or yourself.
Wow. Now, you recently wrote a book on your experience and also your healing plan from Lyme's, correct?
I did. Yes, I did.
What's the title of the book?
The book is called, I'll show you, it's called The Gift of Lyme Disease and Co-Infections, A Healer's Journey to Healing Lyme. And I wrote this because the journey that I took to heal was so all-encompassing. It was a review of everything in my life. I realized from my healer's background, I do have 33 certifications in all types of healing, that if what I have been doing in the past really worked, there must be an answer in there for me. And I reviewed everything in my life, from friendships and work and what I ate and how I slept and everything I could imagine. So when I speak with people, everyone wants to know, what should I do? And honestly, after a certain point, it's different for everybody what to do. But there are a few basic things, and I tried to cover that in the book. And what I did was I did the kind of an overview of what my awakening experience was to understanding what this disease was, how it was impacting my body, why my body was allowing a host position for this disease to take root. It wasn't a malfunction of my body, but I was doing something that created an environment that allowed it to sustain itself. So I cover that in the book, and I give as much as I possibly can. And I understand that when someone is with Lyme, struggling deeply with Lyme, one day you'll feel great, and maybe the next 10 days you just can't get out of bed, and you just are so desperate for an answer. So the way I wrote the book was that if you don't feel good and you just want like something, you can just open this book and start there. You can also read it front to back and, see the journey and then exactly the steps that I took. There's questions and answers in the back. So I tried to give as much as I possibly could for people who just really, really need this work.
Now, is the book geared towards helping people deal with the effects or actually getting completely cured?
All of it. All of it. It's because it hits everybody differently. You get to a point where, okay, well, I've taken out the amalgams. I've cleaned out my diet. I straightened out my bed situation. All of these things, and then there's something still not right. What happens is that with our past traumas, it will leave certain acidic memories in the body, and that's where Lyme will settle in. Lyme likes a very acidic environment. So there's an emotional component. I explain that with the traditional Chinese medicine time clock. So if you wake up at 3 a.m. every morning, there's a meridian turning on. What is the emotional component with that? If that's the lung meridian, lung is grief. What are you grieving about that's going to wake you up at these hours? And it's that kind of processing that can really, really bring the gift of Lyme forward, because you begin to understand that there is a better way to live, and you can let these emotional traumas go one by one as they come up, and that's the very individual part for people. Sure. So that's also in the book.
Now, I know, I think a couple of years ago or several years ago, Lyme wasn't even considered a disease by the medical community. And has that changed now? And if it has, is there a way that they can medically diagnose somebody with it?
The tests are still a lot of false positives, negatives. The tests are really not 100%. There is a lot of action now in government at the federal level to really help the Lyme community. What I caution people about is not becoming too politically involved while you're still on your healing journey. It's going to drain your energy. It really impacts you a lot. So my recommendation is to completely focus on your wellness journey, and then later on you can take on those kind of battles. But yeah, Lyme is definitely an epidemic now. That when I wrote the book, the numbers were 300,000 people a year getting Lyme. Now it's more like 350,000 people, a year. So it's just getting worse. And there's a lot you can do to prevent getting it.
And not that I'm in favor of vaccination, because I'm certainly not. I know how bad that is on a whole other side. But is there in the works vaccination for Lyme's? Or
they used to have one way back, I think in the 80s. They actually had a vaccination, which they took off the market. I believe they're working on one. I'm not sure that I would actually go down that road for vaccine.
And even then, that's for somebody who doesn't have it to prevent it. It's not for somebody who already has it, correct?
Right. Okay. Once you have it, that's a whole different show. And there's another controversy, because initially when Lyme was discovered in Lyme, Connecticut, it was in 1975. They classified it as a virus. And we know that there are no antibiotics or medications for a virus. You just ride out the virus. And at some point, I believe it was in the 80s, they switched up to classifying it as a bacteria. So antibiotics will address that. So there's now they're in the throes of, is it a virus? Is it a bacteria? It's very complicated, but there's a lot someone can do to address the inner terrain and make it inhospitable to Lyme.
Sure. Well, what's the website people can get your book at?
The website is www.thegiftoflyme.com. And my website is www.coachsuzen.com.
Wonderful. And people can contact you. Anyone out there that's listening, if you're suffering from Lyme's or many other diseases, contact Coach Susan, and she'll help you get better. Thank you very much. Is there anything else you want to say about Lyme or anything else before we finish?
Well, I just want to thank you for this opportunity again to reach out to the Lyme community. Many people don't have any kind of support, and even families questioning you. So I have on the website, you can fill out a form and then send it to me, and we can have a breakthrough consultation, and I'll talk with you and make sure that you're at least on the right track for Lyme. If something you can do in your immediate future to help further, then I will help you with that.
Great, great. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Susan, and everybody else that's watching. Thank you. And put your comments and questions below the video. Check out her website. I'll put it below the video as well. Until then, everybody have a great day and a great raw life.
Great.
All right,
Thanks.
Susan, I'll get this out, and I'll put your link on there. And thank you very much.
Okay, Paul, thank you again. All right,
Okay.
take care.
All right.
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life, brighten up your life.